Clinton Jaws, guys. There's a website out there. It's called clintonjaws.com, and you should go to it. This is where we're staying. The title probably gave it away. Why am I acting weird? The title probably gave it away, and I can't hear myself testing. We're staying at the Riu Vallarta in Jalisco. And I shouldn't have started it that way. But yes, we are in Puerto Vallarta. That's so dumb. Me and the girlfriend, okay, we're watching videos before we came to Puerto Vallarta. And this guy on his YouTube channel, he'd be talking normally, and then all of a sudden he would just burst into a Mexican accent. And I'll give you an example. He's walking down the beach, okay? He goes, walk down the beach, stroll past Royal Decameron, you'll come into a nice town called Buenos. He'd start talking like that. And me and the girlfriend like, what is with this guy? It's almost racist. They're making fun of the Mexican accent, aren't they? That's what I thought. My woman has Chinese inside her body. And sometimes she doesn't call me Clint. She calls me Kling. And when the telephone rings in our house, Kling, telephone. And that might be racist, right? Is that not racist? A little racist? To imitate my girlfriend's accent? I think it might be. Told her a joke the other day. I can't believe I'm talking about this. Told her a joke the other day. I imitated how she laughed. I said, what was the joke again? Don't leave. I got some things I want to tell you. What's worse than ants in your pants? Uncles. And she started laughing. Told me I was so funny. And that you just stepped on my joke. And the way she laughed, ha 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 ha. Now you can't do that. You can't do that. And this guy shouldn't be saying Puerto Vallarta. Do you agree or disagree? Anyways, that's where we are. In about 3 hours, we're gonna go down to Buenos. Yeah, not funny. Not funny. Oh my God, I gotta tell you something. We were down in the elevator. Okay, here. That's where we're staying at the Riu Jalisco. I think that's what it's. It's half decent, guys. It's half decent place. I'm enjoying myself. They're at the Pulio right now, having some funny-o. And Tuesday night, okay, a couple nights ago, this is what happened. I go down in the elevator. I get to the lobby, and I'm going to go to the bar. I'm going to get myself some tequila. And when I open up, the elevator opens up into the lobby, and there's a girl staring at me. And she's hot. It's a hot girl staring at me. And I'm like, maybe she recognizes me from my famous YouTube channel, right? That's what's going in my head. Of course it's not, though. And our eyes lock. And she's like, hello. And she said it kind of like that. She was Iraq. She was an Iraqian. And she grabs onto my hands. And she goes, would you like to fuck? And I'm thinking in my head, yepers. The girlfriend's right beside me. Okay. She's hearing all this. And she starts laughing. And I gaze back into her eyes and I go, yes, I would like that. And then her boyfriend comes over and goes, no. And then she goes, you told me you wanted us to fuck other people. Anyways, we got a kick out of it. It's the first Iraqian that has ever talked to me that way. And I liked it. I liked it. Come on. Come on. A girl comes up to you and asks you, would you like to fuck? And my parents are watching this. I probably shouldn't be talking like this, but it happened. And I have this story for the rest of my life. Nobody can take my woman can't take that away from me. When she tells me I'm over the hill. So, I got girls throwing themselves at me. Remember the time when the one just walked up to me and asked me if she wanted to fuck me? I still got it. I will always have it. The girlfriend could never take this story away from me. When she says I look 17 years older, who cares? Okay? This girl was in her late 20s, early 30s. Anyways, we never did do it. And I don't think I'm going to look back at this podcast and just know that I probably shouldn't have opened it up with this, but it's a true story. Right off the top, guys, I'm going to take this call. I want you to hear this call because I got something to say. Oh, and I got another story. I want to tell you what happened at the airport in Puerto Vallarta. Before I hit play, guys, you guys got to call more, 604-330-2512. I won't make fun of you, okay? I made fun of a few people, and I think that's why I don't get as many calls as I used to. But call me. That's why the next person that calls me, I'll air it. How about that? 604-330-2512. Let's listen to this dude.
Hey, Clint.
Hey.
Man, that last video was a home run, man. That was just fantastic. Love the long ones.
Win Babino.
Wondered when you... one thing it made me think about was, when I first got a uniform, when you put the uniform on and it's just the proudest day of your life and you think,
Best day. Well, one of the best days of my life was putting on the uniform at Depot.
You never want this to end, right?
The police uniform.
And then the day when you turn everything in, right? And I remember they'd given me a list. I was in Ontario, right? And they said,
This guy was a hardcore auxiliary, like one of those hardcore ones. So hardcore that he was basically a member with the RCMP. And he had to give up. When you leave the RCMP, you have to give everything back. This is his story.
Need a report to the Niagara Falls detachment. And gave me an itemized list of everything they wanted back, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which included boots, Oxfords, and socks. And I'm like, oh, Jesus, right? And I remember going in and turning the kit and clothing in, and I don't know who the guy was, some white shirt, right? And I had the email printed off, and he'd also received the email apparently because it needed to be signed off, by the IC. And anyway, he says he's looking through this, and he goes, "What is this? Some sort of a joke?" And I said, "What?" And he goes, "There's used socks in here, right?" What are you, some sort of a smart ass, right? Well, take a look at the list. And he looked at the list, and then he just looked at me, and he said, "Who'd you fucking piss off?" Right? My socks. They want my socks. Mm-hmm. Anyway, I don't know if you have anything goofy to add to a story like that, but anyway, keep up that great work, dude. See ya.
Word out. And thanks for calling, man. And isn't it something? I know I'm going to forget. There's a point that I liked your message because I was going to say something to it. What the hell? I remember. Isn't it ridiculous you got to give up your socks? And I know what list you're talking about. The list is enormous because, guys, the amount of kit you get as a cop, yeah, socks. It's not just one pair that you get. Shirts, you get 5 short sleeve shirts. You get 5 long sleeve shirts. The list is on. Multiple hats, like 3, 4 different hats. And remember I told the girlfriend, because this was the... Okay, you want to know what I did on my final day? He didn't have my gun. This is Yeah, I don't know if I should tell this story. My daughter was in kindergarten. And I don't even think today that she remembers that I was a police officer, even though I quit in 2019. But I dressed up in my uniform for the final time because that day at noon I was giving up my uniform, and I hopped in the car. Now, it was around 2 or 3 I was giving up my uniform. And I hopped in my car and I drove to the school, and I stood outside of the kindergarten class and waited for my daughter to get out of class so she could see me the final time in uniform. Then I went home, I undressed, and I put all my uniform together in a box, right? And I'm like, I got to go and talk to the inspector. I got to give my uniform back to the inspector with this list that you talk about, and he ticks everything off. And I told the girlfriend, I said, I might cry because my badge is there. Like, I worked so hard for that badge. And I was worried that I was going to cry, but I didn't. And I remember I put the badge right on top of the box, and I didn't like it. It was sad. Like, can I keep a shirt? Can I keep something? No, you can't keep anything. I wanted the body armor. Let me have the body armor. I wasn't allowed to keep anything, and it was a sad. This is turning into a sad podcast. Jesus, I'm in Mexico. I shouldn't be talking like this. But you enjoyed my last podcast. And you know what? I told a story, and I missed the main point of my story. Sometimes I do that. Sometimes I do these podcasts, and I'll review it, or I think about it, and I'll go, dude, the whole point was for you to say this part. This is the part I forgot. I told you guys a story about how my boss gave me heck. He gave me trouble because I was out all night on one of the busiest days in Port Alberni. It was the busiest nights, and I'm out. I'm out and about, and I'm kicking butt. I'm showing my presence everywhere. And in the morning, my boss spoke to a guy that worked overtime on our watch. Some shithead, okay? And said, I didn't see Clint all night long. And my boss was like, because he's mental. He's like, what? We can't have that. So he documented it and gave me a piece of the documentation in the morning in my slot. Never did speak to him about it ever to this day. I remember that night. You want to know where this guy was that complained about me? At midnight? The busiest time of the night? He's in the goddamn lunchroom, eating food, hanging out in the lunchroom with everybody else, talking and giggling and laughing while I'm on the road. It really is unbelievable. Unbelievable that I didn't get to share that part. Not that I even would have, because I never put down my guys. I never wrote up my guys. I always stuck up for them. If you want to throw me under the bus, then I guess you're throwing me under the bus. But I'm not going to do the same because I don't work that way. But the dumbass is in the goddamn lunchroom. Is that better? Is that better, Mr. Sergeant Person? Is it better to have it that way? My neighbor just came out on the deck. He probably thinks I'm nuts talking to myself. He just sat down. Great. Guys, I know this is awkward. I got to read this article. I woke up this morning to this, and this goes into the Mexican airport, Puerto Vallarta airport experience that I had. I got to tell you. Okay. Do you know who Brittney Griner is? Brittney Griner. For 10 months, she was in a Russian prison, okay? You got to hear this. She just got released today because Biden gave up this guy, this bad guy that they've had in prison here in the U.S. They did a trade. They did a swap. Biden had this guy. His name is Victor Bout. Victor Bout was the most prolific arms dealer in the world. He was dubbed the Merchant of Death for his massive weapons dealing operation. And they did a Hollywood movie called Lord of War about him. They arrested him in 2008, and this guy was supposed to spend nearly the rest of his life in prison. They swap him out for Griner, who has spent 10 months in a Russian prison. That's the deal that Biden made. We'll give you him for her. What did Griner do wrong? You want to hear what she did wrong? She was arrested because Russian customs found vape canisters with cannabis oil in her luggage. She pleaded guilty, sentenced to 9 years in prison. Want to hear what's really fascinating about this? The swap of Griner for Bout carried a heavy price, leaving behind another American detained in Russia, Paul Whelan. He's also Canadian, this Paul Whelan. He's been wrongfully imprisoned in Russia on espionage charges since 2018. And I'm thinking, why? Why was Griner released? She's only spent 10 months in prison. This Whelan guy, he's been in Russia prison since 2018. Why? Why would they swap this bad guy in the U.S., this bad guy, for her and not him? Griner, Whelan. I want to know the reason. And I look at Whelan. He's a white man. He's older. He's got less life left, but he's a white man, and he served in the U.S. military. Griner's a black girl, married to another girl. She's part of the LGBTQPQ section? I don't know. She's part of that group. And then I realized why she was released before him, because she used to play for the WNBA. That's the reason. That's the reason why she was released. Isn't it? It has to be, right? Wouldn't you say? You know, that's all I'm going to say about that part, because that's not the point of my story. What a weird world, eh? Is anybody going to ask Biden? Would Biden even tell the truth? Biden, why not Whelan? How is that fair? Do you think that's fair? That Whelan's still there and Griner got out after only serving 10 months in Russia prison? And the reason why this girl, Griner, got arrested scared the hell out of me. This is what I did at the airport, okay? And I know this is not my best work. I got people listening to me. They think I've lost my mind. There's a wall up, and they think I'm talking to myself. In Mexico. Okay. My man purse, okay? It has my laptop in it. I leave Canada. I go through customs. You know, they do all the beep 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 and stuff like that. And I actually took my laptop out. It gets X-rayed. I go on the plane. I'm still holding on to it because it means everything to me. And we go into we hit Mexico. We land down in Puerto Vallarta, and we start walking off the plane, and we go through all these sections and these these little immigration areas, and we go up to a spot where we have to hit a button. And when we hit the button, we get the red light or the green light. Green light means we go. Red light means they search all our stuff. We got the green light. We go back to the hotel room. The next day, I pull out my laptop, and guess what's inside my bag? A vape canister. And I'm like, uh-oh. Scared the living hell. I went through Mexico customs with marijuana. Now, would have anything happened to me? I don't know, maybe, right? Maybe they arrest me, maybe they tell me to go back. Maybe I have to go back. But I'm even scared to show that to you while I'm still in Puerto Vallarta. Griner what did she get? What did I say? 11 years? 9 years? I don't know. It's not legal to bring this, to fly with this. And I had no idea. Isn't that something? That was a real nail biter story, wasn't it? Okay, possibly the worst podcast I've ever done in my entire life. And I don't know. They're at the pool, and maybe I should go down and I don't know, maybe I'll look for that girl who wants to fuck me. I'll just say hi. And I mean, wouldn't you want to walk past a girl that wants to have sex with you? Really? And notice you again? It feels so good to be noticed. Like I'm an old guy now. And yeah, I guess we'll leave it at that. Guys, call the hotline 604-330-2512. And I know the podcast just went. But I wanted to make an appearance because I haven't been around for a while. I'm going to do another one tomorrow. Call the hotline number. So I could do another one tomorrow. How about that? And stay safe. I had a guy message me, guys, on Facebook. And he's like, Clint, mental health check here. I'm just doing a mental health check on you. I'm like, I'm not nuts, okay? I'm just a little nuts. I'm not fully nuts. I should be doing mental health checks on you guys. You don't have to do them on me, okay? Don't worry about me. You don't have to worry about me, okay? I told my girlfriend that, and she's like, whoa, they think you're crazy. Well, I am a little crazy. But it's a good crazy. I don't know if it's a good... Is there such thing as a good crazy? Anyways, we'll leave it at that. And thanks for watching. Subscribe. And yeah, I recommend the Riu Jalisco because it's... You want to know why? I'll tell you why. It's a regular old all-inclusive. But what it has, and I know a lot of people talk about this, but truthfully, the staff, they're happy to be here. They're happy to work. It's unbelievable. Like, they're actually nice. I haven't had service like this since COVID, since 2020. I mean, everywhere I go now, everybody's grumpy and mad. The waiters, the waitresses, they don't want to be working. It's almost like people are bribing them to work at their place of business, and they don't fire them because they can't find employees. So they put up with their bad behavior. Here, incredible, unreal. They're actually happy, or they're faking it really well. Anyways, thanks for watching. Bye-bye.
What's that?